Well, hello, beautiful people. My name is Gant, and welcome to Lucid9. Last time, we bugged a British girl. We got in a fight with Masato. We found out we have a sister. We almost drowned. And we invited Misaki into our apartment. We were talking and chatting for a bit. Then she was like, hey, let's go to the school. Let's go on the roof and stargaze. And we're like, okay. So we're right here at the school, so let us continue. We pull up at the front gate, slightly out of breath. I slide my card through the receptor, but it only buzzes at me. What? The curfew keeps out off-campus students and automatically reports on-campus students who return late. So what, do we climb the gate? It's armed, Yama. There are laser sensors. My card is an exception, remember? She slides her card. Sure enough, the receptor blinks green. Misaki plops the gate open with a smirk. Ladies first? You're such a gentleman. She only giggles as I pass through the gates. So, where to? The classroom building has a side door for the janitor. It's accessible by key rather than card. We can head to the rooftop from there. When did you get the building key? Never. She darts to the side of the building, gesturing for me to follow her. I squint through the darkness as she kneels down, filling the side of the building. Finally satisfied, she withdraws something from within her jacket, a plain fabric case, which she unzips and dumps on the ground. What's that? Shush! She picks up two thin metallic objects from the ground. They glint in the dim streetlight. Are those bobby pins? Yes they are. She hastily bends the larger one at a right angle and snaps the smaller one in half. Then turns to the door. I peel over her shoulder trying to see. You're standing in my light. Oh, sorry. I crouch for a better view. She's unusually focused as she threads the large pin at the bottom of the lock, pushing it downwards with her thumb. I didn't know you could pick locks. Don't tell my agent. What? Why would I do that? Don't post it on Patter either. Wouldn't even know how to. Satisfied, she inserts the small pin into the top of the lock, wiggling it gently. Ah, there we go. I hear a satisfied click as the door gently swings open. Misaki smiles proudly and waltzes inside. Well? Right behind you. She disappears into the darkness. I stepped after her. As we plop up the stairs, I decide to satisfy some of my questions. Neat trick you learned there. Where'd you learn it? It's better not to know. What if I want to learn it? I doubt you're criminal material, Yama. And you are? Come on, I'm just curious. Where was it? Finishing school princess training? A playful giggle betrays her amusement, but she quickly claps it short. If you must know, District 6. District 6? If I recall, she had told Rui that she moved there with Satomi. We're here! Before I'm able to ask her about it, she pushes the door and onto the rooftop. Well, she's right about one thing. The scenery is beautiful at this hour. Despite the noticeable light pollution, it's not difficult to see the copious amounts of stars in the sky. Silver streams of glitter populate the colored expanse around the moon, smiling down at the bustling city below. Everyone turns into a bunch of stars when they die. If they did something to super duper impress the heavens, I guess. I smile bitterly as I settle next to Misaki on the bench. Pretty, isn't it? Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm looking at her face right now like, what the fuck is this art? For this character model. I don't know what it is, but to me it looks kind of derpy. Don't get me wrong, it's kind of cool, but like, if you've seen how they draw fucking Misaki for all the other ones, it's like this one's like, what the fuck did they do? It reminds me of the time we met at the festival. You haven't changed much since then, you know. You were always a strong person. And that's a bit of an overstatement. Misaki shakes her head, her expression solemn. Honestly, Yama, I mean it. If you weren't, you probably wouldn't even be here right now. What do you mean? Ruri had told me what happened after I left Seto. Oh, right. Do you resent me, Yama? Of course not. It's not like you wanted to move, right? Yes, but... She pauses, unsure how to continue. I'm sure you still want to know why I moved, don't you? I wouldn't be lying if I said that I didn't, so I nod. She takes a moment to collect herself before speaking. Do you remember my father had lost his job? It was around Ruri's birthday. Yeah, I remember that. Well, when my mother found out, she wasn't exactly so understanding. Instead of supporting him, she actually blamed him for not working hard enough. You weren't assertive. You always let people walk over you. You're weak, useless, pathetic. Misaki digs her nails into her skirt until her knuckles turn white. It wasn't his fault, of course. After the financial crash, my father's company went under, so there wasn't much he can do. Eventually, he started working for a construction company. The pay wasn't all that great, but something was better than nothing, you know? He worked himself to the bone, while my mother was doing God knows what. Then, one day, he just never came home. It wasn't rare for him to take an extra shift, so I assumed that he was still working. But when my mother began selling his things, I realized that something was wrong. I remember what she told me when I asked her about it. He's dead. He won't be needing it anymore. She turns to me. Her eyes shimmer in the moonlight as she wipes her face with her sleeve. Jun had died? I don't believe her. I didn't want to believe her. Dead? How could he be dead? But he was. There was no denying it. They said he had overdosed on painkillers while he was out working. I want to believe that it was an accident, that he didn't mean to take so many, but honestly, I don't know. He was so stressed, so tired, so restricted. There's an ache in my chest as past images flicker in my mind. I grit my teeth in an attempt to dispel them. So, that's why you moved? Misaki nods solemnly. We couldn't afford staying in Seto, so my mother and I moved to District 6 soon after my father died. I never went to his funeral, never said goodbye to my friends. We just left. A silence pervades over the rooftop as I digest this information. Although I don't remember Satomi much, I would have never imagined she would do something like that. I guess that explains Misaki's resentment towards her. Do you still live with her? Misaki averts her gaze again, twirling her phone between her fingers. It must be a nervous habit of hers. She couldn't care for me anymore. I eventually had to move with my grandparents. That's why I'm attending the academy, and why I work part-time for Lotus. Ah. I noticed Misaki's hands trembling. As close as we were, it must have been hard for her to tell me about her father. I feel like I should comfort her somehow, but I haven't a clue how to go about it. That's mostly Rui's department. An idea strikes me, and I whip out my phone, placing it on Misaki's lap. Well, what's this? My phone. What does it look like? I know that. What do you want me to do with it? I was just wondering if you could show me how to use patter. She regards me with an upturned brow for a moment, but then breaks into a bright smile. Of course! Without hesitation, she picks up my phone and expertly swipes across the screen. First, you need to go to the Patter's web address. Mm-hmm. Then, you have to register for a new account. Uh-huh. What do you want your username to be? Can it just be my actual name? Only if you want to be boring. So what's the problem? I'll just choose one for you. Let it be Gat. Or what do I have for Twitch? Gat the Great. Or my Instagram, you know what, I'm not gonna say my Instagram, but on Twitch I am Gat the Great. I don't post anything because, you know, I don't live stream, but I use it to like watch MXR, Project Melody, Iron Mouse, and all of that, you know? Don't give me something too embarrassing, Miki. Don't worry, it'll only be mildly embarrassing. She taps at the screen in quick sequence. Once she's finished, she brings it up to my face. How's this? Yams? It's cute, right? I don't know. Too late, I signed in. Miki! Misaki giggles as she fiddles with her own phone by her side. Now, you need some followers. I'll be your first. Followers? There are people who can view your pats. Pats? Pats are updates where you can type a message in 90 characters or less. You can also have an option to attach a file to your pats. Files? I know you know what files are, Yama. Honestly, I don't. Honestly, I do. I just want to annoy her. Files are pictures, videos, documents, things like that. Oh, interesting. A few seconds later, a soft ping emanates from my phone. There we go. So you're following me now? Yep. How many followers do you have? Have a look. Tap on my profile. She hands me my phone, and I do as instructed. Wait, this number can't be right. It says that you have over 9,000 followers. How do you even get that many people? Misaki shrugs, as if she doesn't know either. I suppose it's because I work for Lotus. That makes sense. I take a moment to browse through Patter. It seems pretty self-explanatory. Write an update, your followers view said update, and they have the option to share it with their own followers. Honestly, it's not the most exciting thing I've ever seen, but I can understand why some people find it addicting. Dude, I want to make like a website, right? Which is basically like or like an app that's just basically Twitter and Instagram like mixed together. I don't know, I feel like that could be fun, you know what I mean? I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but it was fun. Like if Instagram and Twitter had a, you know what? No. Now that I think about it, Twitter, it's not that good. I don't want that. I don't want drama, you know? Honestly, it's not the most exciting thing I've seen, but I can understand why some people find it addicting. So, what should I post? Anything you want. Usually, I try attaching pictures since they get more attention. Okay. Why not patch something about the stars? The Patter veteran must have noticed my confusion as she offers a suggestion. You wouldn't see them with my camera. Oh, you're right. Why not? No, you could, Misaki scrunches her face in thought as she glances around for something to pat about. Does she really put this much thought into it? Oh, what's that? I try tracing her gaze, but I see nothing. I don't see anything. There, near the tree. There's a bunch of trees up here, Nikki. She grabs my head and points furiously ahead of us. I strain my eyes in the darkness, trying to make out the faint image. Sure enough, I spot something small lying on one of the benches. Is that a cat? I don't know whether to be more surprised at Miki's remarkable eyesight, or the fact that there's some random cat on the school rooftop. Let's go pat it! What if it has rabies? It could claw you. Don't tell me you're scared of a little kitty, Yama. I never said I was scared. Then quit complaining and follow me. I'm not allowing any room for argument. Misaki slowly stalks over to the mysterious feline, leaving me alone on the bench. I sigh deeply. I don't know why I bother. Fine, but I'm not touching it. I follow her lead, walking behind her. As we draw closer, the cat's ears perk up. We'd immediately stop in our tracks. It's gonna run away. Shush! Hearing us, the cat lazily turns its head in our direction. Its eyes glower at us in a brilliant green. I don't think he is happy we disturbed his nap. It's a she. How do you know? Trust me, I've been around quite a few trays before. That doesn't really prove much, but I don't have the cat expertise to question her. Misaki inches closer. I hold my breath as she definitely lays her hand on the cat's head. Surprisingly, it doesn't jump at her. Instead, focusing its attention on grooming itself. We should name her. You're not thinking of taking it, are you? Of course not. I'm not allowed to, anyway. She says this dejectedly as she strokes the cat's black fur. Getting a closer look, I notice its right ear's clipped, as if it's been in a fight. What about Clipper? What kind of a name is Clipper for a girl? You asked for a name. You didn't say it had to be good. What about Chocola? Chocola? It's perfect, don't you think? She has a black coat. I guess. A notification ping redirects my attention to my phone. Oh right, I should probably go ahead and pet the cat. I aim my camera at Misaki and Chocola. Chocola yawns, but immediately remains relatively unaffected by the picture. Now just type your message and make your first pat. Alright. Unsure what to type, I put something generic. On the rooftop of Miki and Chocola. I post a pat and I notice the timestamp on the update. Is it really this late? We should probably get going now. But Chocola! I'm sure we'll see her again. Probably. I think. Misaki stands up, elbowing me playfully. Then I'll race you to the bottom of the stairs. Before I have a chance to react, Misaki bolts away without warning. I speed after her, yelling in indignation, but smiling all the way. We don't just run to the bottom of the stairs. We stop only when we hit the gate, tapping the receptor in some twisted form of relay race. I win! You got a head start. Still won! You never did play fair. I take a moment to catch my breath before speaking again. Say, Miki. Huh? Thanks for telling me. He looks confused for a moment, but then seems to remember. I should be the one thanking you. Huh? For what? For listening to what I have to say. I smile warmly. Of course. I'll see you later, Miki. Good night, Yama. She slides her card. The gate swings open. I head back to my apartment, relishing the crisp night air. My dread all but dissipates. Sleep comes quickly to me. I wake in a daze, staring emptily at the ceiling. My jaw is pounding in pain, and my lungs are still burning. Seems like drowning isn't great for your health. Who would have thought? I briefly checked the time. Still early. Way early. 6:24. That is super early. And it looks like it looks like I've got yet another letter email. Fuck. I'm sorry, man. Perhaps you do have a chance that you are not looking for, because it frightens you. Do what you think is right, Mr. Troll, even if there are those who mock you or do not understand. Best of luck. It's so accurate that I can only stare in disbelief. A single ridicule thought comes to my mind. It's as if I'm speaking to myself. But that's just crazy, right? It can't be. I was there when the first replies came. They came quickly. They came consecutively. I didn't lapse. I didn't skip. But there are ways to schedule emails. What if I knew how I would respond? No, this is stupid and ridiculous, and I need to stop thinking. I hope you're right. None of my friends really get what's going on. I can't tell them either. What do you think the right choice is? There, this test. If the recipient knows what I'm talking about. I'm so paranoid. I stumble out of bed and change into my uniform, and then dig through the fridge for some breakfast. Porridge, fruit, eggs. Yeah! No, it's Akira. Akira? What would Akira be calling? Hello. Yama, thanks heavens! The relief in her voice is palpable. Huh? Is everything okay? Have you seen Rui? Please tell me you've seen Rui. She left the dorms and she hasn't come back and... Wait, slow down. She went home for the night, remember? Home? She sounds genuinely bewildered. Didn't she tell you? Silence on the other end. When Akira speaks again, her voice is shaky. Oh, yeah, home. Pardon me, General. It slipped my mind like an eel on a peel. Did Rui not tell Akira? But how could Akira not know? They're roommates. More than that, they're best friends. Unless they got into a fight. Then it would all make sense why Rui went home all of a sudden, even if she could only stay for a few hours. Why Akira wouldn't know of her whereabouts. I could bring it up. It seems to be bothering her. No, I'm not gonna ask because I'm that kind of person that doesn't ask. Now I'm gonna ask, what the fuck? This sounds like it could be urgent. Did something happen between you and Rui? I really can't hide anything from you, can I, Colonel? I should feel accomplished, but the pain in her voice robs me from any sense of triumph. If you don't want to talk about it... No, actually, well... She throws off awkwardly. I decide to help her along. Want me to come to school? Could you? Well, I'm physically capable of walking. Oh, pooh, Colonel. You know what I mean. I'll meet you in the cafeteria in 15. Oh, okay. Thanks, Yama. He quickly hangs up, leaving me to wolf down my breakfast. I jog to school just as the sun begins to creep into the sky, washing the chilly night air with a hint of warm. Akira's waiting by the front gate, eyes fixed on her shoes. Once again, I'm stricken by how empty the entrance is. Oh, Colonel! Morning. Morning. I notice her unusual reaction, but decide to let it go. Cafeteria? Yeah. She leads the way to the school dining hall, her footsteps heavy against the brick pathway beneath her feet. The large, extravagant room is also remarkably empty. Only a few early stragglers are scattered around the corners, strolling idly through their phones or bobbing their heads to music. Akira leads me to a nearby table, settling in a cushioned chair with her arms resting lightly on her knees. "Can I ask you something, Colonel?" "What?" "Why did you come?" "Why did I come? What kind of a question is that?" "You seem awfully torn up about something." "And that's why you came?" "I guess." "But what about Rui?" "Huh?" "You're worried about her, right? She is, after all, your true love." I can only snort. "She's my friend, if that's what you mean." "And you honestly don't feel anything for her?" "Not romantically." Weren't we supposed to be talking about her and Rui, not me and Rui? What is it?" "We fought." The words are so plain and direct that it takes me a moment to process. After the improv drama performance, she was really upset." "From the performance?" "That would have been nice, but no. I could tell you why, Colonel, but then I'll have to kill you." She rapidly switches between saying something deadly serious and saying something flip-pat? I'm not sure how to react to her words. Right, and? "And war was to be had. We turned against one another, brothers against brother, and mother against mother. The words were harsh, the strikes were unclean, and neither claimed victory." Her wild imagination seems to be getting the better of her. From what I can tell, she and Rui just had a terrible argument. So what happened? "Her forces fled and did not return. For 5 hours and half an hour, we lay in wait, readying our weapons for the moment when they would meet once again, laying siege to our fortress. But that time never came." You waited 5.5 hours for it to come back? "Pooh, you're so unimaginative, Colonel." On the contrary, I'm pretty sure that Akira has a little too much imagination. It's borderline delusional. I won't judge though, not today. If anything, her scenario seems to be a coping mechanism. Why didn't she tell you she was going home? Was the argument that terrible? It lasted for 7 score years, and results in billions of casualties. So it must be incredibly intense. Interesting. I've never witnessed Akira and Rui in a fight. With their similar personalities, I would have thought that they would try to solve things peacefully. Still, you were worried about her. You're a good friend. No, I'm a terrible friend. I'm just like a politician. I'm too scared to do anything directly, so I became a liar to get what I want. This harsh self-criticism is enough to unsettle me. Perhaps it's simply my inner nature to be contradictory and a devil's advocate, but I want to counter everything she has to say. An actual terrible friend would never say that. So, you may say, but this isn't anything new, Colonel. I can't seem to help anyone. Not as myself, not as Shadow Bella, not as a dragon. My brain suddenly makes a connection, and finally I understand something. Is that why you try so hard to be different? Different people change the world, Colonel. Aren't you just lying to yourself? She smiles sadly, an edge of pain to her lips. If I can help just one person, what does it matter? If I can help just one person, what does it matter? Then again, it looks like I can't even do that. She abruptly stands, nodding quietly at me. Thanks for the talk, Colonel. Time to get to class. Let me walk you. No, I'll be fine. What was the fight? What was the fight? She strides out of the cafeteria without explanation. I'm frozen for a moment, working to process everything that I've learned. I'd always known that there was more to Akira than just a crazy, fun-loving, thespian, but I never expected to catch the glimpse that I did. Maybe we have more in common than I originally thought. I returned to the classroom in a daze, pondering this new turn of events. Eventually, though, I'm only slightly early. The class is already full of attendance. I guess that with new curfew in effect, there isn't much to do except come to class on time. You sure? I turned to the door. Yahiko was standing in the entryway, speaking quietly with the stocky boy from yesterday, Haru Bunya. I mean, what if you're right? Then we'll be damn glad that I decided to talk when I did. Maybe you shouldn't try this. Not yet. Why do you keep trying to stop me? 3 people, Haru. 3 people who were at the first meeting are gone. First meeting? First meeting of what? That's why I need to talk to her today. But you know the rumors. Shoji talked with her and he's fine. Be careful, my dude. When am I not? Haru nods in farewell and disappears down the hall. Yahiko agitantly rubs at his hair and he takes a seat. I better choose my words carefully. Who was that? Huh? Oh, Haru? He's a club member. Club member? Of the best club on earth, of course. The Happy Club, making people happy since 2018. Oh yeah, the Happy Club. I've always thought that it sounded like the stupidest thing in existence, but something dawns on me. What do you do in the Happy Club? I always assumed that it had something to do with alcohol or gambling, but... Why? We make depressed people happy, of course. I'm taken aback at this sudden display of altruism. Why? Why not? Not because he wants the undying loyalty of his future minions, not because he wants to have a statue erected in his honor. I want to ask more, but the teacher promptly strides into the classroom, rapping her pointer against the nearest table. The students quietly assemble. 3 people who were at the meeting. Let me do it in his voice. 3 people who were at the meeting are gone. Could Yahiko be talking about his club? 3 of the victims attended the Happy Club. But what about the first 2 deaths before the Happy Club was even founded? Could they have a link to Yahiko? Could Yahiko know anything about the murders? No. I got a theory. Sit down and listen to my theory. Like, I could have kept commenting to like someone about my theory about like Rui, like he might be the murderer. That's my theory, that he might be the murderer. But this is what I'm thinking. Now that we learned about this Happy Club, right? Yahiko started a Happy Club, right? I'm not saying that he's a murderer, but remember what Mr. Ryota said? What is it, like 3 episodes down or 4? That like the people who were getting like kidnapped or that went missing, they were people that had like depression or something mentally messed up about them. You know, they were going through some hard shit. And those 3, and they probably went to Yahiko's club to try to be happy, try to get out of their depression. So if I was, you know, Yama right now, I'll be really staking out like the Happy Club. You know, who's in it, who knows about the Happy Club? Like, is there like recurring people who go in there? Is there a teacher who chaperones the whole club? I don't know. You know what I mean? There's so many things that you could do. But man, that's like a theory that like, not that he's a part of it, but someone in the club. Someone who's a part of the whole club. Either the person, like a teacher who's sponsoring it, or one of the students who are club members. They're there. Seeing these people, learning about their fucked up situation. And they're like, oh, you're depressed? I can do something about that. I don't know, man. But what about the first 2 deaths before the Happy Club was even founded? Could they have a link to Yahiko? Could Yahiko know anything about the murders? Why looking particularly attentive today, Yama? Would you like to answer this question? I look up to the board. A terrifying large picture of a mutilated corpse splattered in the center, mocking me through the gaps in its limbs and crimson bloodbath. My mind runs blank. No. Yama! I squeeze my eyes shut, shaking the image out of my head. A second later shows the picture is just an artist's interpretation of the Isamu flag. No bodies, no blood, just brown and red. What the hell was that? 5 points deducted for lack of participation, Elizabeth. Elizabeth? Yes, ma'am. The flag originally adopted during Mayor Inori's first mandate represents the ideal that anyone can succeed with hard work, regardless of background, stature, or upbringing. Thank you. Goodness gracious, I don't know what is going on with everyone today. Right. Well, let's proceed. The flag is a proud symbol that has been acknowledged even by... I pull out of her lecture, disinterested, as many classmates secretly pass messages via their hacked desk tablets. I switch my own tablet on, but wince at the bold 10-digit that greets me in reply. Don't say that to me. Say that to him. I quickly close the application. My mind is a mess throughout the remainder of class. Thinking about Shoji, thinking about the crimes, it's just too much. Lunch could not have come sooner. Surprisingly, Yahiko turns to me when the bell rings. Well, hey, wanna grab some lunch from Masato and me? It kind of feels like it's been a while. It kind of feels like it's been a while. Now that you mention it, it really does. I almost don't remember the last time that the 4 of us had lunch together, assuming Rui joins us. I want to, I really do. But I don't know if I could talk to Masato after yesterday's exchange. I think I'll pass for today. You sure? Yeah, thanks for the invite though. Okay. It's just, dude, I feel like I haven't seen you in a long time. Sorry? Heck, some days I feel like I haven't seen me in a long time. Well, there's always room for more minions if you feel like joining. I'll keep that in mind. He all but skips out of the classroom, whistling between his teeth. A few days ago, I would have considered it completely natural. Now, it looks forced to me. I leave to get some lunch, ignoring Misato's concerned gaze. After grabbing some takeout at the cafeteria, I settle in the courtyard, enjoying the fresh weather the best I can. It's fairly empty. Most students prefer to eat in the cafeteria. The only point of interest is a small group of girls huddled in the back corner examining the wall. Wait a minute. You're a freak! Fuck, hon. I gotta be like more mean girls. You're a freak. I can't believe they still let you come here. First Akane, now Shoji. You must pay for this. Oh fuck. I edge closer, trying to find a clean perspective between the huddle of heads. I catch a glimpse of red hair. Again? Really? Maybe the administration loves you, but we know the truth. We won't stop until we have justice. You should stop showing your dirty little face around here. How were those thumbtacks in your gym shoes? Did they give you an idea of the pain we feel? No. She probably just took them and saved them for her voodoo dolls. Ugh, you're disgusting. Dude, I'm gonna punch one of these putas right now. I'm gonna punch a puta right now. Despite their biting words, Ari doesn't even bat an eye. She stares emptily at them, her hands folded neatly in front of her. Wow, look at her. She doesn't even care. Are you even human? Do you feel nothing for the suffering of others? I bet she enjoys it. It's probably her favorite pastime. What the heck? What kind of sick parents keeps a retard like you? I clench my fist at their words, escalated to brutality. Ari isn't even lifting a finger to defend herself. Yeah, I'm gonna step in. What the fuck? Fuck, man. No one should be bullied, okay? No one. Look at her. She's short, man. You gotta step in, Yama. Screw this. No one deserves this kind of treatment. I step to the outer edge of the circle, keeping my voice flat. Innocent until proven guilty. Really seeing it now. The girls turn to me, surprise flickering across their faces. Oh, well, isn't it the heartless bastard? I wince at her remark, but manage to recover in time to hide it. And if it isn't the overbearing moron. Excuse me? Don't even have the guts to bully a girl half your height without backup. She colors rapidly at the others leaping to her defense. We're not even bullying her. We're being fair. You can't talk. Look what you said to Choji. Because clearly, the best way to help a hurting friend is to hurt someone else. They completely disengage, Ari circling around me. Ari killed people. Why are you taking her side? I bet he likes her. Yeah, he took her side last time too. I only absorb this calmly before I respond. Maybe Natsuki and Shigori had ruined me for life. And you have concrete evidence of these murders? I'm sure that geniuses like you would never stoop to accuse someone without standing. Well, whenever someone talked to her, they mysteriously disappeared within the next few days. You five have also talked to the people who also disappeared, but the only things you've killed are brain cells. Try again. What? Are you deaf? Haven't you heard all the rumors that she... Oh, I see. In the world of idiots, rumors qualify as concrete evidence. They stewed silently, working to speak past their rage. I seize the opportunity to guide Ari out of the circle. Before I can leave, one of the girls steps in front of me with a hard look in her eyes. You're taking the monster's side? I return her stare with an equal I don't know what the fuck that word. With equal rage, whatever. Until you have actual evidence, kindly refrain from increasing the amount of stupidity I have to hear. We stride away as the girls gap after us. I'm stricken with equal part triumph and guilt. Yes, I won. Yes, I defended Ari. How ironic that it had to be by the same method that I condemned. We stop at the school rooftop, where I take a moment to absorb the fresh air. Ari walks in front of me and examines me closely, a quizzical tilt to her brow. You were like Shigori. Wait on. It needs to be like more. You were like Shigori. Yeah, I was. I scoff dryly. She frowns. Why did you stop them? I sink into the nearest bench. She settles beside me. Because... A weary laugh wrenches from my throat. Why didn't you stop them yourself? Why did you stand there? Why did you let them kill you inside? Even while I'm yelling, I already know the answer. Because it's easier. It's easier to take the pain. Easier to just sit there. Easier to just let people call you a freak, a weirdo, a madman. Man, fuck. Sorry, I'm like crying inside. I don't want to talk about it. Easier for you to blame yourself. Instead of answering my question, Ari wordlessly pulls something from her jacket. The play case, a handheld gaming console from Lemonscape. She starts it up after tapping idly on the screen, hands it to me. I recognize it as a strategy RPG port of Code Geass, player versus player mode. You wanna play against me? A tiny nod. Okay. I didn't know you played games much. I mean, apart from Left Alive and Fagu and all the games I've been too scared to play. I select Shushumo Kurumuchi as my hero, leaving Lerogue Lamparade for Ari, and start producing some basic units. Then I end my turn and pass the play case to her. You gonna keep letting them push you around like that? Ari taps the screen with blinding speed and hands it back. I don't care. Really? I can't. Fuck not. She really cares on the inside. Okay? It doesn't matter how much you say you don't care, you know? No matter how, you know what I mean? How you're like either smiling or like her face like doesn't care, you know what I mean? And it doesn't matter how much you have don't give a fuck attitude. It kind of hurts you sometimes, you know? Fuck. I can't see any of her units through the fog of war. I send out a recon scout as my heavy troopers slug from behind. They're saying some crazy stuff. Think of it this way. If you let them get away with it, they'll treat other people the same way too. Ari ponders a little before making her move, but her fingers are just as assured as before. No, they only target me. I notice in bewilderment that my recon unit has seemingly vanished into thin air. I guess that she destroyed it quickly. I capture a factory and begin to produce tanks. Why just you? She passes it back almost immediately. They said it was because I have red hair. What's that to do with anything? It's fucking beautiful. What? Therefore, I have no soul. Fuck, it's a stupid ginger thing. I spot one of her infantry troops in the woods and quickly eliminate it with my tank. Nothing else is in sight. That's an old joke. It's just an excuse to be mean to you. Ari taps the play case. I hear an explosion and wince. Is it supposed to be a funny joke? My tanks have vanished without a trace. I begin moving my forces towards the forest, while sneaking my hero across the edge of the map. No, it's a stupid joke, and it shouldn't have been made. I'll tell you a funnier one if you like. She smiles lightly, and returns the play case. Yes! I can't tell if she's smiling because she's surrounding my forces, or if she's excited to hear my joke. I slip my hero through the fog of war. What does a clock do when it's hungry? It goes back for seconds. I wait for the punchline to hit, but Ari only freezes, considering this joke for a long pause. A clock can go back in time? What? No, it's a pun. 4 seconds? 4 seconds. Going back for... Never mind. Nevertheless, Ari is smiling when she slips the play case in my hand. I'm left with just a final line of defense, but my hero finally reaches his intended destination, a special structure that doubles my deist counter. How about this? A Mexican magician tells his audience that he'll disappear on the count of 3. He counts 1, 2, then 2, and then disappears without a tres. I thought stage magic was just an illusion. I can only chuckle to myself. As expected, she completely missed the point. She makes her move, and I hear a massive explosion. To be honest, I feel like I should have read it as because I know Spanish. Uno, dos, tres. Maybe I should have said it like uno, dos, and trace. Disappears without a trace. That's what some white people call tres. It's kind of annoying every time I hear it. She makes her move. I hear massive explosions. Oh, I won! What? I grip the play case. Her units have completely surrounded my base and are one turn away from capturing my headquarters. Not today, Le Rouge Lampred. I triumphantly conquered the special objective with Kasumo Kurmochi and activate my dais. Tables turn. I reverse the ratio of my soldiers to yours. Our soldiers completely swap colors, leaving her with practically nothing. Even if it's the end of my turn, I know I've used my dais well. She looks at the screen attentively. I sit back and relax. Even if she manages to kill a few of my troops, she's surrounded. She taps on the screen and smiles. Good, reinforcements. What? I lean over to look at my screen. My newly acquired soldiers still surrounds her character, but quite suddenly, from the other side of the screen, a small squad of soldiers have appeared. Normally a few soldiers would be nothing, but my army is still with Le Rouge, and these new soldiers have a direct path to me. I blink and suddenly they surround me. Suzumo Kuromochi takes a couple of downs, but he's soon overrun. The words Victor Le Rouge Lampred jumps to life on the screen, oddly cheery considering the game genre. That was somewhat anticlimactic. What the? Apple peach! And she goes back to eating peaches, what she loves the most. So you're the master of video games. Got it. Her smile widens suddenly. Is she happy with my compliment? I understood that joke. The joke. What? 4 seconds. 4 seconds. Oh. I should research the one about the Mexican magician. Yeah. I'm not sure if I'll ever understand this girl. You're pretty passionate about video games, huh? I enjoy them. Are there any kind you don't play? Bad ones. Well, I guess I can't argue on that one. So, do you have a favorite game out of all the ones you've played? Fable Fabio... Hyper Fabio Brothers. That was a quick answer. Oh, why that one? You fight against a bad guy who steals peaches. I'm not sure what I was expecting. So, what got you into video games anyway? You don't strike me as a gamer when I first met you. Then again, she didn't strike me as a singer, and look how well that turned out. They seemed fun, so I played some. They were fun. So did someone just buy you a console and you decided, sweet, video games, or something like that? Like, what was the first game you've ever played? Castle and Creatures. Castle and Creatures? Wait, isn't that that's a tabletop game, right? Old-fashioned. Make your own stats, play with a party, go on an adventure, all that stuff. Yes. How long? A standard table game is 2 meters long. No, I mean, how many years have you been playing tabletop? Speaking of Ari Haraga is an unnatural good exercise in creating complete sentences. Oh, around 5 years. I played a lot before I learned about video games. But don't you need... I quickly stopped myself. A group of friends. That's what I was going to say. But it sounds too cruel, even for me. Never mind. I played with AI. Huh? AI. Artificial intelligence. I know what it means. I was just surprised. Why? That's what was available. Available? Available where? At the... Oh! Hey! We turn in synchronization. Haru Bunya is standing on the rooftop entrance, arms folded across his chest. Well, that was convenient. I need to talk to you, Hiraga. I glance at Ari, looking for signs of discomfort. Her face is completely blank. Leave, Yama. The words are harsh, but her voice is soft. It's almost as if she was expecting this encounter. If you say so. I move to the door, but Haru grabs my shoulder, his eyes piercing into mine. Watch yourself. He releases me and continues to Ari, as if he'd never said anything. So, is this what he meant earlier today? He was going to talk with Ari? Clearly, both he and Yahiko believe the rumors about Ari being tied with disappearances, but despite that, he's still talking with her. Just what could be so urgent to trump their fears? I should have stayed there. No, you should have stayed there. What if he punches her? I shake off my apprehensions and return to class, resolving to ignore his words. Alright, I'm gonna end it there. Wow, that was a long one. But it got so good. It was really engaging and interesting. Fucking Misaki, fucking Akira, fucking Ari. The Ari one made me cry, man. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I could see a little bit of myself in Ari, you know? But, like, Ari's just, like, she's, like, the one where it's, like, I don't, like, you know, blank expression. While me in high school, I was like her when people used to tell me shit, but I would always be smiling. That fake smile. I showed my friends, teachers, bullies, everyone, man. That fake, But, you know, it hurts, you know? It fucking kills you inside. Okay, enough of that depressed shit. If you liked the video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification to see more videos whenever I post them, and leave a comment. Tell me about your theories of this game. Like, there's so many theories, like my theory. I think Rui's the killer because she just left. Well, to be honest, that was my theory at first. Now that I'm thinking about her and Akira, it's like maybe she just left. Maybe Rui has something wrong with her. Maybe it's because I'm not telling her that I love her, or maybe I don't know, something's going on with her, and hopefully we get to figure it out. Akira's fighting with Rui. I wonder about what. Misaki, well, we learned her story already. What is the happy club with Yahiko? There's so many questions that I want to learn. But we'll find out next episode. Anyway, this is farewell, and as always, bye bye.